Hi everyone, welcome to our channel on Land Matters. It matters that it is land, and there are matters on land that we must begin to analyze, interrogate, with a view to understanding them and to promoting on how we can live on this land, all of us together, peacefully, and use this land profitably and for posterity. My name is Abigail Mbagaya. I'm a land and land governance expert practicing in Kenya. Now, on today's episode, I want to talk about how we can hold property. In other words, how can you own property? How can you hold property in the nation of Kenya? First and foremost, there are various ways in which you can hold property or you can own property. One, you can be a sole proprietor. You know who a sole proprietor is? A sole proprietor, wewe mwenyewe ndio mwenye ardhi na unajiandikisha hivo. So in that case, you are the undisputed owner of the property. So you can hold the property in your name as the undisputed owner, as a sole proprietor. Wewe mwenyewe peke yako owning the property. Another way in which we can hold property in this country is joint ownership. Now, joint ownership, you have got the joint tenancy. Now, in joint tenancy, normally I see husbands and wife. So the property is owned by a man and his wife together as joint tenants. In this case, when you own property as a joint tenant, it means that when one of you dies, the property transmits to the remaining person. So you need to be very careful how you want this property to be owned. If you're a joint tenant, mmoja wenyu akikufa, mwenye atabaki will become the sole proprietor of that particular piece of land. So you need to be very careful, interrogate these issues and see if you want to be joint tenants. Another way in which you can also hold property is as tenants in common. Now, tenants in common, many of you can come together and you hold land that is not divided. Each of you has a share in that land. So let us say we are 4 of us. So each one of us may be owning 25. Abigail has 25%, Judy 25%, somebody has another percentage. The land is still undivided and it is held together by all of you in shares that are distinctively listed on the title deed. Now, in this case of the tenants in common, what happens is that a shareholder can sell his share to somebody else. You can transfer your portion to another person. You can sell your share actually and exit and bring in another shareholder. So again, in this case, you also need to be careful. Do you want to hold property together as tenants in common or as joint tenants? So be careful about that. So even sometimes I've seen cases whereby a husband and wife still also hold the property as tenants in common, where the husband has 50% shares and the wife has 50% shares. In this case, if one of them dies, it does not transmit to the other automatically. The share of the other party must go through succession to be given to the heirs of that particular tenant who has his share. So again, like I said, it's important because again, once you know how you're supposed to own this property, you're able to know with a view to minimizing disputes, when anything happens going forward. Another way in which property can also be held is community land. Community land can be registered to a community. We now have the Community Land Act. It provides mechanisms on how land can be registered to a community. So land can be registered to a community. And you remember last time I did explain what a community is. Members who have similar interests or a group of people who have come together for a particular purpose. So land can be registered under the name of a community in accordance with the Community Land Act. Then now, you're going to ask me, and by the way, I forgot to mention, for you to own land in any of these categories, you must be 18 years and above. When you are below 18 years of age, you cannot be registered in any of those categories I have mentioned. I have talked about you cannot be a sole proprietor, neither can you be one of the parties to joint tenancy, neither can you be a party to tenants in common, neither can you be one of the members in a community. All of you must be above 18 years of age. And like I said, please interrogate how you'd like to hold this property. Oh, and another thing again, a company can also own property. So you can also establish a company where the family members are shareholders in that company again, and then everybody has their share in the company, and they know what their portion is in the land that is owned by a company. Now, can children own property? Yes, they can, but not in their own names. Normally what happens when you want to bequeath your child land and is below 18 years of age, you will need to talk to your lawyer. Your lawyer will then establish a trust for you, and then you yourself will appoint trustees. So the lawyer will establish a trust for you, and you'll have appointed trustees who will manage that trust for your child until he becomes of age. Then that particular property now can transmit to him when he turns 18 or 21 or 24, depending on your wishes or on how you'd like him to hold the property. So ladies and gentlemen, how property is owned, how property is registered has a bearing again on how you fare on. It also has a bearing on reducing conflicts on land. So ladies and gentlemen, let us keep ourselves informed to reduce disputes on how land can be held. So ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time to listen to me, today I just want to talk about that thing of ownership. Because again, tukiongea mambo mengi, you will miss a lot of things. Just small doses so that you can never forget. Then you're able to do the right thing to avoid disputes. So if this is your first time, again, please click the like button and then subscribe to our videos, because we are continuing to share information on land. So I look forward to you subscribing and liking my video. Thank you so much. So next time, I want to talk about, there's this thing people like talking about, power of attorney. So we are going to see what that is as far as land matters are concerned. Thank you.